Hey Cancer, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. Take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your storyline and wavelength on this one, check your other major placements. If I do, you can join me over on Vimeo for an extended reading. We'll be looking at the rest of the oracle cards and fleshing out the storyline we start out here. Or sometimes there's a little bit of an offshoot over there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not really in charge of what the cards are going to tell us or not. So I've already shuffled these, cutting the deck. We're doing a traditional tarot spread over here on YouTube. Oh, speaking of traditional, here we have the Hierophant. That's the, from the bottom of the deck, it's the overall reading, overall vibe for the reading, the Hierophant. Number 5, institutions, maybe complex institutions, could be marriage. The Hierophant connotates a traditional institution. So these larger institutions, they have maybe some intent, some what do I want to say? There's like a core of beautiful intent with these institutions. It's like at some point we as a collective the human collective decided, you know what, we really love justice. So we're going to develop systems to make that easier to access or more reliable to access. However, as the institution grows, there become all sorts of rules and regulations, and it's sort of a Byzantine maze of do this, do that. If you want to get where you want to go, you got to play by the rules. And there's a lot of rules in this institution. Alternatively, it can be marriage, which is a little bit similar, but so yeah, there's a lot of rules and regulations, just dealing with rules and regulations. In order to get where you want to go, you got to play their game. So, so that's, and there could be some leadership here, but it's leadership that you have to, what do you ask, or you're the supplicant here. I've never seen someone as the Hierophant. Sometimes I get that in personals where someone comes up as the Hierophant, but so I guess I have. So yeah, Hierophant. All right, Cancer. Here is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's the issue? Environment, to-do list, possible outcome. I love this because I was thinking about that card as I was talking about this card, and they're on either side. This whole reading is parenthesized by the Hierophant and the Devil. Because, yeah, parenthesize the parentheses here. Oh, my goodness. Okay. In your recent past, you have 2 of Cups. You have relating, a close relationship, sharing, giving, taking, mutual relationship, kindred spirit. So this could actually be connecting with something that really connects with you. But generally, I feel that it's 2 people, not necessarily lovers, but they could be close to you in some other way, related, friendship, anything like that. Anyone where you have deeply connected, you've enjoyed maybe a deeply connected conversation, a deeply connected period of time. You have met someone and you've had this conversation or this this connection where you can openly and freely share your feelings. So your current situation is not your favorite. This is the Tower moment. This is things, structures in your life being turned upside down, which is really interesting because the Hierophant over here, we have this mad, crazy stability, centuries old stability of institutions and rules that need to be followed and regulations. And then the Tower moment almost talks about the destruction of that, the destruction of some sort of structure that you have known and loved, some sort of maybe not loved but relied on. It's provided the structure for your life, the house, the where is my brain? The beams in the house that hold that provide the structure. There's a load-bearing wall here that's coming down and it's creating some topsy-turvy energy. So the Tower moment is when something in our life, a structure, something that we might even consider your life, comes undone. I mean, the hope and the purpose is that we can take all those raw materials plus lessons learned rebuild better. But in the moment, it's pretty terrifying. It can be scary, very unsettling, a lot of unsettling things happening. Maybe it's this relationship that you've relied on and that's giving you a lot of structure, a lot of stability, and suddenly there's a lot of instability in your life. Lots of things are up in the air. It's scary in the moment. The purpose is for life, for better life, for moving forward, but there is some upsetting stuff going on. Something's really changing. Something's really gone on its head. So that's where you're at right now. Then what you've got on your mind? Queen of Cups, you might be thinking about somebody. You might be thinking about this person. So maybe this connection is actually giving you some stability or something while this happens. Or maybe this connection is experiencing a full collapse here. That's a little bit terrifying and not quite what you wanted. In your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape is Queen of Cups. There's someone that you're thinking about. This could be you, though, because the queens are very internally focused. So you could be having a lot of internal feelings that you're just either journaling about or keeping to yourself. The queens, male or female, keep things, are mostly, they don't necessarily keep things to themselves because she does share. She can be transparent at times, but there's a lot she's holding back. So you're either thinking about or worried that someone has a lot of feelings they're not communicating, or you're thinking about, or this is you really processing something, processing your feelings about this tower, about this sort of collapse of a structure. Right, and here's structure, and then we have collapse of structure right here. So, there's something, you might be journaling. There might be some sort of frightening feelings coming up for this person, you or somebody else. There's an ability for some level of transparency, but there's a lot, like her journal is locked up. And this fits very closely with how I view the queens, which are in the inner universe, the micro universe, the small universe, the atoms and the interior world. So either you're very interior or someone you know is having a lot of feelings, but they're not talking about them. And you're thinking about them. You're thinking about this person. What do they feel? They're not saying very much. What's going on with that? So what's at issue here is the Devil reverse. I actually like the Devil reverse. This is what's going on. Somebody's being released of some sort of bond. So this actually could be quite a big breakup, or even the breakup of a marriage, because we have the Hierophant as structure. I mean, this would not be for everybody. Literally, that would be very strange if every Cancer watching this was going through that thing. But it could feel like that. It could have similar vibes to that. It could be work. I don't see a lot supporting work because we just have so many cups already here. But actually, oh my gosh, there's 3 queens. There's 3 queens here. There's 3 people here. That's fascinating. They're all a little self-absorbed, which is fine, which is not a problem. Like, we do need to be getting in touch with our own emotions. We do need to know how we feel. We do need to be planning our own future separately. We do need to, be in touch with our own creativity. This is not in itself bad, but 3 showing up here kind of looks like 3 people not really cooperating or interesting, because there's not a lot of communication between the 3 people. There's not a lot of, that's really interesting. 3 queens. There's a lot going on under the surface, quite a bit going on under the surface in this reading. Surface, we've got this tower crashing, and we've got this really heavily exterior-based Hierophant card. Anyway, the Devil card, what's at issue, is coming out of some sort of bondage, either being released from a contract. This could be released from some kind of contract. I mean, especially since we have the Hierophant. It could be a breakup, a divorce, but it could also be coming out of addiction. The Devil is anything that prohibits us from moving freely, that prohibits our freedom of movement. So that's why it is addiction, contracts, marriage, and sometimes like depression or mental health issues. So it's coming out of that. You're being released from some sort of bondage, something that's really limited your freedom. And typically with the devil, we're talking about something that was very easy to get into, very tempting, very exciting to get into, but very difficult to get out once you're trapped in there. Or sometimes we want to sign the contract, right? But when you want to get out, it definitely feels like hell or like a prison, right? And addiction too, like nobody starts addictions because they want to be addicted. There's something fun and exciting about it. And then eventually they realize it's going to be a lot harder to just stop and walk away than they thought. But this devil card is being released of some kind of contract. So that's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool. We have some sort of institution, and then we have some sort of release here. Maybe someone's even, with these two cards, it could be someone's getting out of jail. It could be somebody, like, that's very dramatic, but, we all have different lives here. So someone could be quitting school. Someone could be being released of some kind of contract, getting their freedom back. And then in your exterior, in your externals, we have judgment, which again is looking like some sort of legal issue almost. So judgment is, and it's external. So something is being reevaluated. There's a reevaluation. I could, like, as a metaphor, like you're up for probation or something. Like there's something that's being reevaluated, re-examined. This could be you, or this could be something in your environment triggering you to do this, or this could be someone you know. Looking back and trying to sort of see, the judgment card is like, it's the second to the last of the major arcana. So I view the major arcana as a bit of the hero's journey, the novel. And then the world card, the last one, is like we've shut the book on that. But this one is sort of the, Oprah's book club questions that come at the end. What did you think about this? How did you think this went? So we have that, and it's in your exterior. So it almost seems like maybe there is like a judge or a judgment that's saying, how a judgment's coming down. If we're dealing with like a broken contract or something like that, maybe there is some sort of court system, some sort of legal system, and you're interacting with the judge and the judgment. The decision's being released this week, or that's what's going on here in the external. So just with this Hierophant and then this judgment card, it almost does look like something having to do with legal, and with the reverse devil having to do with a contract that's been broken. So you may not have broken the contract. Someone else may have broken the contract, and then we're dealing with some sort of legal issue here. This could also be a relationship. Someone's broken the contract, and then the judgment is coming in. And judgment isn't necessarily the consequences. It's the decision. It's the looking at what happened, who did what, who said what, and understanding what it's about and what it means. And if it's personal, then it's something like about what you would do differently next time, right? What did you think of this part of the story? What did you think of that part of the story? Did you think that this person should have gone back? Do you think that they were right to not, or whatever, just asking yourself about, or this is about something external, is asking about actions, behaviors, this crashing down moment, what worked, what didn't work. So somebody's asking that. It could be a judge. It could be maybe not even with the legal system, but it could be a judge from your mediation, or the school's making a decision or something like that. So some sort of decision being made, assessment, some sort of assessment of past behavior being declared and being made. Your current situation is Queen of Wands, or this is your to-do list, actually. So you're to be the Queen of Wands. You're to be very in touch with your own intuition, in touch with your own creativity, your own sexuality. All of that sort of sits in the same area of the subconscious. So again, we have a queen. She's interiorly focused. So you're not being asked in this card, in this situation, to lead something, to direct, to tell everybody what to do. You're being asked to just be solely in touch with where you're at, with your intuition, with your spirituality, right? The Hierophant can talk about churches and sort of, you know, the long-term churches, and, you know, they've built this huge structure around a kernel of faith. They're like a pearl around a piece of sand, but it's like the opposite. It's like sand around a pearl. So they have these big structures, but there's this core of faith. And I feel like this is you having faith in yourself. This is you getting back to the core part of what was the structure that's now falling apart. What was its surrounding? The core, your core, who you are, your essence, your energy, your who you are. Because there's some sort of structure that's been built up around your life that is not stable anymore and is not something you can rely on. So you're going to need to go back. You're going to need to just mostly rely on yourself. Rely on your own intuition, your own energy, your own power, your own inner power. And if people want to respond to that, they can. If they don't, that's okay. But you're being asked to just really focus down on your own inner flame, your spark, right? Without this whole institution, you still are creative. Like without, you know, being a professor of art at an institution, you're still a creative person. That doesn't take away that part. That just takes away the structure around that part. Even though a relationship may have crumbled, you're still a loving person. So this is asking you to really get in touch with what your essence is. We have this giant structure. It's not functional anymore. And in a way, you're getting your freedom back, your freedom to focus back on you, focus on what makes you tick, focus on your own energy. So this is really taking care of your own energy and making sure that you are right. This devil means that this devil in reverse means that you are being released to focus on what you really want, focus on your best energy, focus on your essence and who you actually are. So then we have possible outcome, Queen of Coins. Well, we can make some career moves from here. So Queen of Coins is focused on her money, her earnings, her career, how she spends her time. So this is a very spiritual card as far as getting in touch with your own spiritual energy and that core of what may have been this structure around it. Getting into that core of who you are and getting back to that. You're now free to go back to this and free to get in touch with this. This may result in you making career moves or at least planning out how you want to make your money, how you want to spend your time. She's very much internal, thinking about herself, this queen, male or female, of course, thinking about herself, thinking about who she is and what she wants for her life to look like physically, in the physical realm. So it's like, but she's not making moves, she's planning out her moves. And she might be making some movement towards that. She's not the knight. She's the queen. So you might be making some moves. This could also be someone you meet that's also very career oriented. And you join forces. I mean, you are connecting with someone. Are you connecting with this Queen of Cups? If there's a breakup with the Queen of Cups, you might be connecting later with a Queen of Coins, again, male or female. But this is someone who's a little bit career oriented, thinking about how they want to spend their time, how they want to spend their money, and planning that out. So it could be there's a little bit of rebuild energy here, right? This structure falls apart. This job gets lost. This relationship is toast. This house has to be moved out of. But now we have to get in touch with who we are, and then we're going to be thinking about, okay, where do I want to live now? What really do I want? Making sort of a wish list, really understanding what you want to spend your time and money on next, or who, or what kind of person, or what's actually going to be beneficial for you. So you're looking out for your benefit here. So there's 3 queens here, which I find very interesting. Your job, your to-do list is to making sure that you're in touch with your core values and your own energy. So if that resonated and was helpful for you, you can join me over on Vimeo. Even if it was helpful and resonated with you, you don't have to join me over on Vimeo. I'll see you guys in a while. So thanks for watching.